People, Deluded, I'm back again. It's always a pleasure to speak with you guys each and every time. A quick one. Now I'm seeing Thiago going Liverpool. I'm seeing Bale going back to Spurs along with Regulon, and they're still in the market. They've had a bid rejected for Danny Ings. You know, Jadon Sancho and United don't seem to be going away, whether that happens or not. City are being linked with Koulibaly and these things. We all know what Chelsea have done. For me, the marquee signing is Werner. I think, you know, the price, how I see him play, like I only saw a couple minutes against Brighton. I think he's going to score a lot of goals. Havertz, I think he's going to be a good player. Probably needs to adapt based on that Brighton game, you know. But if he plays well against Liverpool, what he said, the bottom line is when I'm seeing all these other clubs, you know, I'm looking at Arsenal like, bro, let's get a move on. We keep hearing Partey, we keep hearing Aouar, you know. Man, want to see these things done. It's always our transfers that seem to drag out and drag out. The Gabriel thing was there for a while. When it was actually happening, it was quite fast, you know. I'm seeing Bale just pop out the blue, you know. Fair enough, the Thiago thing, Liverpool to-ing and from him for time, but when it came to doing it, it was moving. To be fair, maybe when there's something to move on, we'll see the same with Arsenal, but I'm seeing what other people are doing, people, and I'm thinking we need to get this Partey or this Aouar thing done. I think they're both needed of equal importance. If it was down to me personally, I changed my mind on which one I'd rather. I think, you know, Aouar, especially a fan like me, you know, Arsene Wenger's the only manager prior to the new things we're seeing I've known at Arsenal. So I'm very much of that DNA, and I think Aouar fits that, along with the French ties. Partey, we need a composing man. He's not a defensive mid, but he can put a foot in. He can offer something going forward. He can carry and pass the ball. And he's obviously a physical presence. What we shouldn't look at is even Thiago and Bale at their respective clubs. Don't look at them to be the Messiah. They can make the difference, but they're not going to lead the thing by themselves. So we can't do that. But I want to get these things done, man. So we might as well start with the Partey thing and then the Aouar thing. And I know you're all tired of hearing about it. Apparently, Atletico Madrid, this is from The Guardian, Atletico Madrid's Thomas Partey and Lyon playmaker Houssem Aouar are their long-standing top targets, but would cost up to 130 million in combined transfers and wages. The Guardian understands Arteta would prioritise a move for Aouar if given a straight choice between the two, but both players must first join players must join Martinez in departing. And then it went to speak about Kolasinac, Guendouzi, Chambers, Torreira, etc. Now, I'm with Arteta. I've said it before, but I changed my mind. Like I think, you know, you look at our way, that's what we need, man. I don't want to downplay Partey, I'm not, you know, but you could probably get away with keeping Torreira. Ironically, you probably need to sell Torreira to get Aouar, but if you could keep Torreira with, what I mean by him and Partey are different, but in that team, what matches the skill set closest is Torreira's. So in theory, you could keep a Torreira and get an Aouar. Equally, you could, you know, do some other things, but especially with William, you could run William in that 10 role or alternating between that. So I think we need both, but as you see, money talks. You want Partey, pay the release clause. You want Aouar, give them what they want. How much of that can be done without outgoings? I'm not too sure, people, as you lot know yourselves. Moving away from that, though, according to Team Talk, Leeds are interested in Chambers but face competition from West Ham, Newcastle and Fulham. Apparently our asking price is £12 million. Personally, I would like to see that closer to 16, 20 so we can break even on our players. And I mean, not being funny, I think Tarkowski is better than Chambers, but at the same time, maybe not on the ball, but he's got a better standing in the game because he played more in the Prem, you know, to a degree, or being a more important player in his respective team. But I feel if, you know, you got 30 million for Tarkowski, you got 20 million for Chambers. With our homegrown thing, it could keep Chambers at the club, but we need to raise funds. His teammate Rob Holding obviously has played his way back into Arteta's plans. There's always a chance of Chambers doing that, but I'm on doing what we can to raise funds for players that need to come into this club. Now, big up the Beautiful Game podcast. They've had some great guests on their team. They've done a lot of good stuff, you know. I can't talk them up enough. I'd say just go and look at them on their channels and stuff, because they've interviewed effing Brendan Rodgers, people, stuff that I can only dream of doing. And I like seeing people that don't necessarily reflect traditional media. They're doing their thing. They actually always speaking on Balogun as well. Apparently, for what it's worth, though, they said Arsenal have agreed personal terms with Brentford keeper David Raya. Apparently, it's a 5-year deal on 40 grand a week. He has made it clear to the Brentford manager, Thomas Frank, that he wants to leave the club. Apparently, a fee is still yet to be agreed. Brentford are willing to do business at around 15 million plus a loan back clause. Apparently, and this is also in tandem in what I read in The Athletic, how Brentford have rejected multiple bids of around 10 million from Arsenal for their goalkeeper David Reiner, and are adamant he won't be sold this market. Apparently, as you know, we're close to confirming the signing of Iceland international Richarlison, who's close to a move from Dijon. But apparently, Arsenal are seriously considering the possibility of adding both players. A move that would also allow current third choice Matt Macy to move on. The Spaniard is also opening to joining Arsenal, whose goalkeeping coach Inaki Kanya joined from Brentford in December. Kanya has also worked with Ronaldsson at FC Nordsjælland in Denmark. So he's worked with both these prospective keepers to come into the club. You know, I might not know too much about them, but that's enough. I just hope when their chance comes and when they're selected, be that in Europa League, touch wood, if it's incidences like last season where Leno is injured, they can stand up to be counted. And I think that's telling, you know, if we can bring in two keepers. You know, the Dijon keeper's linked with a move for literally a couple of £1 million. This man, we're hearing 17. So, you know, fair enough. Martinez's fee, in theory, it was 20 million, rising to 20 million. You know, that kind of can pay for these two keepers. But if we're really trying to get money to get these two midfielders and whatnot, I'm not saying we don't need a keeper. Would we really be wasting kind of money that we just got from Martinez if one, we never had money to do things elsewhere, and two, if we never had confidence that people are going to move? Torreira's linked with a new Italian club every day. It seems to be Torino's the strongest, and we have an 18 million asking price, although that differs according to what you read, because you've seen 22, you've seen 26. Socrates, are we willing to forego a fee to just get him off the wage books? To get it. Guendouzi, can we move him on? And several other things. Only time will tell, and it remains to be seen, people. But in conclusion, it's interesting that Arsenal want two keepers, and that based on reports, if it came to it, Arteta would push for Aouar. And I think there's cases to say that Aouar is more important than bringing in Partey. I think there's cases to say Partey is more important than bringing in Aouar, because as much as when we can't break down teams in his two banks of four, Aouar can do that. When we need a composing figure that's dynamic and stuff, Partey gives us that. For me, both are of equal importance. If you cannot get these two targets, you need to get two players with the same profile, like such. But that's just me. We'll see how these things play out. I'm kind of tired of talking about the same old recycled stuff, but I have a duty to speak to you guys about whatever's relevant. So I've done what I needed to do. On that note, though, I'm going to go into my garden and do my little workout and things. It's a Friday. I always like to do that. And I hope you're all well and safe, you know. I've got a whole host of content that I'm always releasing, so make sure you go and check out the rest. Do me a favour, please vote for me for the Blacklist Awards. Please like and subscribe. Make sure you comment and offer your opinions. Thank you for all your support, for watching this video. Please stay safe, and I'd like to extend the same to your family. DG, I'm out.